been burned, I've been broken, still I rise, yeah, the story's been spoken. Every scar just shows what I came through. I'm stronger now, and I shine brand new. The climb was steep, but I held on tight. Step by step, I found my light. Shots fired, but I keep moving, turn the pace, steady grooving. From the ashes, I'm reaching high, altitude living, I'm touching the sky. Shots fired, but I keep moving, turn the pace, steady grooving. From the ashes, I'm reaching high, altitude living, I'm touching the sky. Not my trauma, not my chains.
Welcome back to The Rise from Ashes to Altitude, a living, breathing book tour based on my award-winning book, Shots Fired, a heroine's memoir. I'm your host, Tracy Lance, and through intimate conversations, behind-the-scenes storytelling, and powerful guest voices, we explore what it really means to rise from trauma, reclaim resilience, and turn wounds into wisdom. Each episode is a tour stop into a different part of the journey, from fire and bullets to forgiveness and elevation. Our mission is to create a space where vulnerability is honored, healing is possible, and every listener is reminded your story carries strength, your voice carries truth, and your scars are no longer wounds. They're beauty marks of survival that make you bulletproof. Our last stop on The Rise brought us to the vibrant city of New Orleans, where we honor Domestic Violence Awareness Month through the powerful story of Elaine Davis, a woman who courageously shared the tragic loss of her mother when she was just 9 years old. If you haven't listened to that episode, don't miss it. It's a story of survival, forgiveness, and finding peace through pain. Today, our journey takes us west to Sedona, Arizona, where the air itself feels sacred and every ridge tells a story of transformation. Since our next guest's story centers around faith, perseverance, healing, and rising through trials, it's a perfect backdrop of her story of walking through hardship, to say the least, and coming out renewed by faith. Let us welcome Cassandra Reed, a woman whose life mirrors the very landscape around us, carved by trials yet breathtaking in its beauty. Cassandra, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to The Rise. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you for being here. I'm so honored to have you join us on The Rise, to have this couch conversation. I have been looking forward to having you join me to discuss just some things that I just cannot wait to hear more of. We started off several weeks back, and we had like a mini session. And I have been waiting for the moment to have you back for the full-blown conversation, because there's so many questions I have and so much more I want to learn about you.
Okay.
So before we get started, I want to ask you, tell us what you think about the theme of Sedona. Have you ever been there?
No, I've never been to Sedona.
Okay.
Been to Phoenix and Scottsdale, but never Sedona.
Yeah.
It makes me remember Waiting to Exhale, the movie.
Yes.
With, the girlfriends, the camaraderie that they had.
I never knew they were in Sedona.
Yeah. Well, I don't know for sure if it was Sedona. I know they were in Arizona.
Yeah.
But something about Angela Bassett's home made me think of Sedona. Oh, so I just think of serenity.
Yeah. Yes. I think of serenity when I think of Sedona. I've gone there once, and the most memorable thing that I could recall about Sedona was the massage that I got at the hotel, the resort that we stayed at. Everything about Sedona is spiritual to me.
Yeah.
So Sedona is known worldwide as like a spiritual vortex, a place of renewal and divine connection, which is why I thought it was so fitting for our discussion. Of course, all throughout Arizona, there are the red rocks all over the place, and they glow like embers in the sunrise and the sunset. So it symbolizes both fire and rebirth, which is why I thought of you. So this setting, like I
didn't
said,
know that.
ties in beautifully to your testimony.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
And so I never connected Sedona with Waiting to Exhale. Now I have to go back and watch it just so I could see it. Yes. But on this episode, Cassandra, you're going to share your journey with us, your journey of survival,
Yes,
of courage, of healing and reinvention.
Yes.
Lessons that echo the themes of Shots Fired, my book. So you've faced those unexpected challenges. You've had pregnancy with premature twins, single motherhood in rural Louisiana, and navigating the demands of college life. But Cassandra, you didn't just survive. You endured personal trauma, and you faced life-altering health challenges, including a terminal breast cancer diagnosis. Through it all, your faith in God and your unwavering determination became the foundation for triumph after triumph after triumph. And I could just keep going after triumph.
Hopefully no more.
Right. Please, peace be still.
Yeah.
But your story doesn't even stop there. You have a book that's being released very soon. To the listeners out there, you're going to want to pick up this book from your nearest bookstore because it's, you'll tell us about it.
Yes, I will.
We're going to talk about your labor of love later.
Yeah.
But first, let's come on back to Chicago.
Yeah.
Where your journey began on Chicago's South Side, just like mine.
Yeah.
So where on the South Side did you grow up?
Woodline.
On the Woodline area. So give me a
like
street.
64th and Ellis. We lived on 65th and Greenwood. I went to Dumas Elementary. That was like on 64th and Ellis. So, yeah, all through the Woodline area.
Wow. And that's the only place you lived in Chicago?
Oh, no. I lived there until I was like in 6th grade. Then we moved to the Burnside area where we were on like 92nd and Langley.
Yep, that's east.
Yep.
Yeah, over there by J Fish and Lim's Barbecue.
Yes, Lim's Barbecue.
Yes.
A main staple.
Yes.
Yeah. I went to Hyde Park High School on 62nd and Stony, so I've been south but mainly east.
Yes.
You got it right.
Yes.
My mom lives like on 80th and Colfax still. Since I was 14.
Wow.
Yeah. She still lives
So
there.
what was little Cassie like? Okay, wait, hold on. Before I get off into that, let me just change what I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna not call you Cassie. I'm gonna call you Sandy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said if I could remember to continue to call you Sandy throughout,
right?
So I could go
probably
forward
gonna
calling
forget
you
because you're so used to it.
I'm so used
and
to it.
I'm fine with it. I just know.
But I'm gonna try because all your friends call you Sandy, so I like to consider myself your friend.
You are.
So I'm gonna try to convert and remember to say Sandy as much as I possibly can.
Okay.
So tell me what little Sandy was like as a little girl.
Okay. I was trying to please everybody. I was perfect, like try to be the perfect child. I stayed clean, never got dirty. But I was rambunctious with my cousins. I was like the first girl and a lot of boys. So I would have to fight through them to be seen and be heard. But I was a nerd, a straight A student. I loved school. I loved learning. You know, I used to sing and dance, talent shows we used to have in our house. So I was a whole little performer.
Yeah. You siblings, do you have siblings?
Yes, I have an older brother. He's 3 years older than me, Alonzo. And my sister Jeanette is 2 years younger than me. And then with my father, I have a half brother, Elijah, with my brother. And Ebony, my stepsister. So all are young. So with my dad, I'm the firstborn from my dad's children. And I'm my first daughter with my mom's children.
Yes. And you all lived in the same house at one point?
Yeah.
So it was quite a few of y'all.
Yeah.
So you were always trying to be seen. Like, I'm right here. You see me. You see
Yeah. That was me.
So
taking up space.
Yes. So Sandy, what would people be surprised to learn about you?
That I'm shy. People are like,
no way.
See?
No.
I am so like...
So
I like to stay in my bubble.
We're in front of the camera now, and you seem to be doing really, really well.
Seem is the good word. Underline seam.
but you are shy.
I am.
Wow.
I am.
Wow. So let's get into your story.
Okay.
You have defied the odds from an early age.
Yeah.
You mentioned being, a nerd, loved learning, loved going to school.
Yes.
So you graduated from Hyde Park High School. From the moment you graduated from Hyde Park High School, did you go to college immediately after?
Yes. In August, in the fall, I went right to Grambling State University.
Nice.
I didn't apply to no other school because my older brother went first. He had a track scholarship, and so he was there at Grambling. He's 3 years older than me, like I said. So by the time I was a freshman, he was a senior at Hyde Park. So when he graduated, he went. And I visited Grambling and fell in love. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere else. It was just like Wakanda.
Right. So you visited while he was there.
Yeah.
And then from that moment, you're like,
I'm
this
going
is
there.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was how long before you graduated?
So I visited there probably a year before I graduated from high school.
So you just had your mind
Yep.
set on Grambling State
That's
University.
it. I didn't apply to no other college.
Yes. So what did you do once you got there? You were on campus. Did you join groups and?
Not right away. Like right away, it just was a wonderful experience. It was an open experience. Just like, wow.
I'm here.
Yes,
Yes.
like by myself.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My high school boyfriend came with me, and his family, his mom is the one that took me there, took me to school.
Yeah.
So my parents had really no experience with college. So like my dad knew nothing, so they didn't, take me to school and
So
do all the things.
your brother was the first to go to college.
Yeah.
From your family.
Yeah.
Then you were the second.
Yeah.
And then so no parents who
No.
had gone to college before you.
No.
Wow. So they
I
had
was the
two.
first.
So
Yeah.
how many of your siblings did go to college after high
me?
school? After you.
After me, all of them, Elijah and Ebony, went
Everybody
to college,
got-
except my
nah.
sister Jeanette. But my two other siblings, they did.
That's
And
amazing.
my brother didn't stay. So me staying at Grambling, I ended up being by myself because
Yeah.
he ended up leaving and going to the Marines.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was there like trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to figure it out.
And you figured it out.
Yeah.
So so you faced challenges there at Grambling.
I did.
That could have held most people back.
Yeah.
But you, again, defying the odds, you weren't just out there surviving.
Yeah.
You excelled. So can you tell us what motivated you, even as a young girl, to say, I'm going to push past the statistics and I'm going to chase my dreams of getting my college degree.
Yeah.
And
be a
chase
first
this whole
generation
higher
college
education.
grad.
Yes. What was that? Was it going on campus to see your brother there?
It was that was partially it, but also I wanted to be successful. I wanted to make money. I wanted to have a career,
Yes.
not just a job. I wanted to make an impact in my community and show people that we can do this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Regardless, you don't have to be an entertainer to make a certain lifestyle. So that's what I set out to do.
Yeah.
So I really was rooting for my future self. If you
But
will.
I still don't get where they came from. Here's why I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Because growing up on the south side of Chicago,
Yeah.
we lived in Inglewood. We
Yes.
lived in certain, all around the Chicagoland area. And it wasn't implanted or instilled in me to go to college after high school. It
Yeah.
was all about survival.
Yeah.
Duck those gunshots.
Yeah.
That's what you need to be worried about. Going through those halls
Yes.
of DuSable High School.
Yes.
That's all I was
definitely duck
concerned
gunshots.
with. They didn't even really push college
In high school for you?
preparedness for me in high school.
Well, I was in a college prep program at Hyde Park.
That's the difference.
So it was for me to go to Hyde Park because I went around 5 other high schools to get to Hyde Park because it wasn't in my neighborhood. It wasn't my neighborhood school.
Oh,
so in order
okay.
to go there, I had to be in a magnet program, and that meant the college prep program. So
Right.
all of my classes were geared towards college.
Yes.
That's why.
See,
So
that
they-
makes a difference. Just to hear you say that was just one of those things that I'm going to college. I want to be successful.
Yeah.
I want to get out of this because you kind of could see the things going on around you and want differently.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that you saw that. You had, the foresight to see that and to say, I want success.
Yeah.
I want to get out of this and I want to be successful. Okay, so let's go back into your Grambling experience.
Yes.
While you were there, you discovered that you were pregnant.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Okay, so this was my second time. I was a college dropout 2 times before then. The first time I dropped out because I didn't have enough money. I needed more money and I needed a car. So I came back home to Chicago for a whole year. I went to here in Washington College for 2 semesters and I worked downtown at the hotel, Intercontinental. 5 days a week, went to school my 2 days off. So every day I was working towards my purpose. So saved up. Anyway, made enough money, went back to school with my car. The get back in school is going great. By the second semester, found out I was pregnant. I had a boyfriend from the time I was 19. So I was 21 when I got pregnant, when we got pregnant. And it blew my mind because that wasn't my purpose. That wasn't my purpose at all. However, I was like, okay, well, this is what we're doing.
Right.
So I proceeded to, once I found that I was pregnant, I began to find services, meaning low-income housing and food stamps and Medicaid and all of the things, the state services that I needed to prepare me for my baby.
Yeah.
Because I did not know I was having twins until I was 6 months.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I had them at 6 months.
So you had 2 twin boys when you were 6 months pregnant, so premature babies. While you were going to school, while you were trying to get your education. Okay, so tell us, how did that work out for you while you were on campus with twins now?
Yeah. So, well, I came home to Chicago to work for the summer. And that was in 98, right? So I'm like, come home, work at the old job that I used to work at and save up and, go back because I was due in September. Drove the 12 hours by myself, me and my pregnant belly, from Louisiana to Chicago. And I was doing my prenatal care. And when I went, the nurse, first of all, it took a long time. And so the nurse, someone came in there and asked her what she wanted to eat for lunch. I remember them opening the door and asking her that. Wow. And so she's like, well, I'm going to be a while because it's multiple. And I'm laying there and she's like, you hear me? You're having multiple. I was like, what do you mean multiple? Like,
that's how you were told that you were having twins?
Yeah. I said, quantify that for me. What do you mean? Multiple. I didn't take any pills. Like, this is a natural pregnancy. So she's like, you're having twins. And I said, okay. And, I was kind of just in a whirlwind. My mind was everywhere. And she's like, so do you have any questions for me? And I was like, no, I have questions for the Lord. I have nothing for you. Seriously. So, so she said twins, and I found that it was twin boys. They were in the same bag, so it was both boys, identical twin boys. Because she could tell that one of them was a boy, but we didn't know about the other. But she said they're in the same, so it's identical. Yeah, so I come out and tell my dad. My dad was there with me, him and my uncle, and he's like, it's a boy, because they wanted me to have a boy so bad. And I was like, it's 2 boys.
you want one, I'm going to give you 2.
Right, and that's what my mom's like, because you don't do anything like everybody else do anyway. You always do the most.
That's right. So how did you find the strength to go ahead and continue going to school with 2 babies in tow?
Well, my babies were, like you said, they were premature. They were born at 26 weeks. I was in labor 7 days. Let me say that. Because they did not want them to come. Oh. They were trying to keep them in. And so I was in a hospital. They said, with twins, I should have been on bed rest at 4 months. But I didn't know until I was 6 months.
Exactly.
So it was too much activity. I should have been, resting most of the time. So anyway, the doctor said, if you have these babies right now, they may not make it. One doesn't have enough blood to exist outside the womb. And if he doesn't make it, the other one is hiding, not going to make it, because for identical twins, it's hard for one to live without the other when they're babies. And so this nurse told me when the doctor left, she said, well, he had to tell you that legally, because that's what he had to tell you. But you seem like a young lady that has faith. You hold on to your faith. That doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. And from that moment when she told me that, and mind you, I've never seen this lady again. Like, I feel like, okay. But from the moment she told me that, I had no fear. So when my water bag broke and I went into labor, they're trying to push these babies out, I gave out. There was no more oxygen going to my lungs, so I passed out. Cold blue. Everybody had to leave the room. I almost died. My babies, it was a mess. So fast forward to me getting them out of the hospital. They stayed in there for 2.5 months. When they were born, they were 1 pound 10 ounces and 2 pounds 3 ounces. They fit in my hand. You can see through their skin. Their skin was kind of iridescent. You can see their ribs. Their vocal cords were not developed. Their lungs were not. So they would there was no sound coming from them. They had to really develop. Like, it was a lot. My 1 pound 10 ounce baby, Dion, was trying to pull the breathing tube out. He's like, I can breathe on my own. Like, I couldn't believe it. They had to put a sock on his little bitty hand. Then he was trying to take the sock off, so they had to tape the sock. Anyway. So
it's a newborn?
Yeah. It's 1 pound 10 ounce. The one that the doctor said wasn't going to make it. He was a fighter. My twins taught me that resilience and how to fight and faith. My faith, I believe, increased from them. So they came out the hospital. They were discharged after 2.5 months. And I went back to work probably maybe I went right back to work, this company that I was working for downtown. And taking them to their physical therapy, speech therapy, all of the things they had to get so they can get acclimated to being like a normal baby. As their legs were like straight, they had to get, so it was a lot.
Yep.
So that first year was really getting them healthy. But during that time, while I'm getting them healthy, I was working at this company and they promoted someone over me because I didn't have my degree. But I knew the job, but they were like, but you don't have your degree.
Right.
Right then, I gave my 2-week notice. I called my professor down at Grambling, and he said, come back to school here. Like, because I tried to go to Chicago State. My credits enough didn't transfer, so he was like, I'll put your class in the computer, in the system right now. Just come back here, and we'll help you figure it out. And that's what I did.
Wow.
I took my babies 12 hours with me. Yeah, 12 hours away from home.
So stayed on campus.
Well, I camp near the campus.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, that determination is beautiful. You remind me of myself when I was a single mom, decided I'm going back to school. I have to be successful.
Yes.
But I didn't have babies on campus with me.
Yeah.
I didn't even, I couldn't have even imagined having, it was hard enough going to college and getting a college degree as a single mom.
Yes.
But to have the kids right there with you, that's
1 year old. Now, my ex, their father was there as well, but he had dropped out, so he didn't go back to school. But he was there, and his family lived 30 minutes away from there. So that was some support, at times. But mostly it was me and them. I found one of my professors, his wife had a daycare. They had a home daycare, and they took care of my boys while I went to school.
Yes.
Yeah, so
that kind of dedication takes a special kind of superpower. Do you realize that?
Not all the time. Sometimes when I think back, I was like, girl, that was a lot.
Right.
Yeah,
that's girl. Like, what? What was I thinking? Yes, but you have a superpower. First of all, you weren't just raising your children on this campus. You were raising the bar and probably didn't even realize that at the time.
I did not.
And you've mentioned faith several times.
Yeah.
And you talk about how, faith meeting your determination and that being implanted in you and being empowered by your boys.
Yes.
And you didn't give up. You didn't say I'm having an abortion.
Right.
I don't think you even thought about that. Like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
When you found out you were pregnant, we're doing this. And you rose to the occasion.
Yes.
And then fast forward to graduation. You didn't even just graduate and get a degree. You graduated with high honors.
I did. As an accounting major. I don't know. Listen, when I think about it, because like the semester before I graduated, I I had to ask the head of the accounting department to take 7 classes. I was like, I need these 21 credit hours, and then I can graduate in the summer with 1 class, and I can be done. And he's like, well, I don't want to give you that. You know, you have the boys, you have this going on. I was working in school, and I said, no.
Yeah, give it to me.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Like, I need, it's then I can graduate with 1 class in the summer. And so, reluctantly, he did. And I had all A's that semester. I don't know, but
goodness.
it was a lot pushing me to get it done.
Did you always want to be an accountant?
No, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be Claire Huxtable. Let me be clear.
Yes, I think we all did. When the Cosby Show first came
Yes.
out, everybody wanted to be Claire.
I wanted to be Claire Huxtable.
Yes.
And so I wanted to be a lawyer. But the College of Business kind of pulled me in. You know? Working on before I went back to college, I did working at the hotel, hospitality, and all of the things, because I used to be a business management major.
Yeah.
And my ex-boyfriend told me, he's like, don't take that accounting class because it was too hard for me, so you shouldn't take it.
Oh, wow.
That's it. That challenged me. Like, now I'm going to take it. And I fell in love with the right. Like, what? So I fell in love with the class. It challenged me. And I wanted to work a job where I can work 9 to 5 and be off on weekends and sit down at a desk. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to be running around in healthcare, any other things, and I wanted people to respect my weekends. So I said I need to do business.
Yes.
So that's what I did. I kind of fell in love with it. I love numbers.
Yes. Wow. And I'm the total opposite. And they say
numbers.
usually if you love numbers, you're not you don't want to go down the attorney route. That's what I've heard. Let's talk about how you felt when you finally walked across the stage.
Yeah. July 13, 2001.
You remember the date?
Yes, I do. I'll never forget it. My twins were there. Their father was there. My family was there. But I like wanted to do it over again. I felt like it went too fast. I was so proud of myself.
Yes.
I had chills, like, I did it. Like, I dreamed of this, and I'm doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was amazing for me.
Yes.
It was amazing.
I feel that story. I feel it.
I know you do.
But hearing your story, it reminds me of the countless single parents out there trying to balance education, their career, and family. It's not just about surviving. It's about creating a life that exceeds what you even thought was possible for you in your life.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So now let's talk about your profession. So you graduated college and then you stepped into a career that can be both challenging and isolating. So you work for the government.
Yes.
You've been working for the government for 24 years.
Yep.
And in a predominantly white and male field. So you've not only held your ground in all of these years, but you've worked alongside members of Congress. What have those 2 decades taught you about resilience and purpose?
Yeah, it's a lot. So I started August 13, 2001
You
with the
remember
Department of
dates
Treasury.
like
Yes, because it was exactly 1 month from the date I graduated.
Wow.
I interviewed 5 days after graduating for the Department of Treasury in Cincinnati. So I had to leave Louisiana, travel to Cincinnati for this interview. And I really didn't take it as serious because I planned on going back to school to get my master's. So I was like, well, I'll just do this interview and we'll see. And they called me back and wanted me. So immediately I went. But what I would say, integrity.
Yes.
My integrity to be a person that means what I say and say what I do. You know? Like, I'm heavy on that.
Yeah.
I like to be dependable. And those are the things that kind of grounded me with the Department of Treasury. You know, you have to have confidentiality working in this field. You can't, speak other people's taxes in their business. So, my integrity has kept me, and, determination too. But yeah.
And you love to be challenged.
I do.
But I love how your story, it just illustrates that resilience isn't just a one-time event.
Yeah. No, it's not.
It's a lifelong practice, especially for you. It's not personal. it's also professional for you.
Yes.
And you've built a legacy not just through your career, but through how you show up every single day. You like to be challenged. You like,
I do.
tell me that I can't do it. I'm going to move forward and do it and claim my seat
That's
at
exactly
the table. I love, love, love that. And and around an environment or a career where the systems aren't built for you, you know, you got, again, it's this male dominated field. Through all of this, it's clear to me that it's your faith that's what clearly anchored you. You remind us that even when the odds are stacked against you, faith can fuel your perseverance. That's incredible. So let's talk about you've gone from this professional challenge.
Yes.
And then you've gone into these personal challenges. Let's talk about some of that.
Okay.
You've gone through deeply personal battles, from surviving sexual assault to hearing those earth-shattering words, "You have cancer."
Yes.
Wherever you feel comfortable with starting it, let's just...
So yeah, the sexual assault started as a child. So between ages of 5 and 7, you know, I was molested twice, 2 different times, 2 different people. And then at 16, I was raped. And I never told anyone any of this until I had my children. When I turned like 22 was when I realized that it did happen to me. I had blocked it out so hard and so heavy, so deep within me that, it lived there. But I don't know, something about becoming a mother, it brought up those feelings. It brought up that fight back in me, like, whoa, wait a minute, this happened to you, you know? And I had to recognize that. I had to, I sought therapy for that. And yeah, it wasn't good. And then at 29, I was date raped as well. And so it was a struggle. And it was, for me, that's why I've always been so controlling, because control had been taken away from me in such a personal way.
Yes.
And also for me, I never I stayed covered up. My body. I always wore oversized clothes or did this, or, you know, to not bring attention to my body, to my physique, because I felt like that was a way for men to be desiring me, and I did not want that. I did not want that type of attention. So that's something that I had to overcome with therapy, God, deep faith, great friends, a lot.
What do you think having children did for you to make you remember?
Probably because I didn't want them to go through that.
Yes.
I became a strong advocate against that for my children. I protected them so severely from the things that had happened to me. So I think that's why I began to protect them the way that I wanted someone to protect little Cassandra.
Yes. I can only imagine the emotional and spiritual weight of all of that. And then you've gone through the sexual assault, and then you said therapy helped you to get through that. So, but when did you start therapy? Was it after you became a mom?
Yes.
So you started therapy, but you carried all of that with you for all the way up until the time you became a mom.
Yes.
And then how soon after you started going through your therapy that you started feeling like you were going down a path of healing?
Oh, it took a while.
Yeah.
It took a while because I was in a tumultuous relationship with their father. You know, I was moving with vision from hurt people.
Yes.
So I was an unhealed person out here trying to maneuver and do life. And I would see the consequences of my actions from me being unhealed, you know, coming out in other ways. So I sought therapy probably a couple of years from when I started working with the Department of Treasury. Yeah. So it wasn't until I was like in my professional life that I began to go to therapy. And the healing, it brought about a lot of changes within me that I knew I needed to make. Right. I needed to look it right in the eye, face to face, and conquer it.
Yep.
You know?
Head on.
Head on.
So after you started healing from the sexual trauma, then how soon after that were you diagnosed with and had to go through this whole cancer journey?
Right. It's intertwined, I'm going to say,
Wow.
because you're never really healed from being sexually assaulted. You just learn how to live life through that and know your triggers, you know? So, yeah, I was diagnosed at 44 when I was 44 years old. You know, I had a mammogram 8 months prior. So, coming out the shower, I'm drying off and I feel a lump in my right breast. And I was not thinking it was cancer at all. Nothing in my mind said this could be that. But I told my husband to feel it. He did. Went to the, he was like, call your doctor. He probably was thinking that that's what it was. So I called my doctor. Immediately, they got me in. Immediately, she sent me for a biopsy. And I laid there getting my biopsy in the dark with my arms over my head. And I heard a voice say, no matter what this test comes back, I got you. Like, God got you.
Yep.
So from that moment on, I did not worry about it. Sort of like when I had the twins and that lady said, if you have faith, hold on to it. But I didn't know what was to come.
That was amazing how you remembered her voice. It was almost like she was a guardian angel.
That's
of some
what I'm
sort.
thinking.
But you found a way to hear that voice again, or
Yeah.
you heard that voice again come through, and that's what you held on to.
Yeah.
For that faith again.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
So talk to us about at the point where you got the diagnosis.
Whew. Heavy. So I was in the car line picking up my son Zion from school. He was in 8th grade. I was early, so I was like the first car. And my doctor called me. I was on the phone with one of my sisters. And I said, hold on, let me get this news. My doctor. And so she told me, Cassandra, your test came back and you know, I diagnosed with breast cancer. And one single tear came from my eye. And I said, well, okay, what stage? Because I don't know what to ask. I don't know anything.
Nope.
I said, well, what stage is it? And she said, preliminary stage 3. I'm like, whoa, I just had a mammogram 8 months prior. I'm already stage 3. So that was heavy. And I said, well, what do I do? What do I need to do? And so she recommended me 2 doctors that she knew. She said one is local, but the other, you know, is like, one she highly recommended and one was like, okay. I'm like, I want to go to the best, whoever.
Yeah.
So she said it's further away at the Cancer Treatment Center. I said, that's fine. So before she and I could finish talking, I told her I needed to tell my husband first before I made a decision. So I had to hop out of the car line because he wasn't answering. He had just worked overnight. He was home. So I like made a U-turn, went home. It was like a couple of minutes. And I told him, woke him up and had to tell him I have breast cancer. And he like crashed in my arms. He immediately broke down and it was a lot. It was very emotional. So I'm like, well, baby, you got to get it together so we can go back up and get Zion from school.
Yeah.
I'm like, we have to pick him up, so we have to get it together. I didn't want to tell him by myself.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pick him up by myself, blah, blah, blah. So we go back to the school, pick up Zion. As soon as we entered the home, I told Zion what it was, and he cried, and I held him too. Like I held Joe when I told him the results, and we just maneuvered from there. I think, I always tell people I feel like God had me in a coma. You know, how they put patients in a coma so they don't feel the weight of the pain that their body is going through. Because through it all, I was like, my job was to hold everybody else together. I was worried about everybody else.
Wow.
I wasn't worried about me because I already heard God said, I got you. So I wasn't worried about me. But I was worried about how everyone else was going to respond to it.
Your diagnosis.
Yes.
What did you ever find out, like the 8 months before you found this out, that you had the mammogram? Did you ever figure out, like, how was this not seen?
Right.
Was it there? Did it just grow that
I think
fast?
it was. Because when I had the mammogram, they sent me back for another test. They said, wait, let's just look at something. So they saw something and they sent me back for another test. I don't know what they did. But then they cleared me. They're like, okay, nope, it's fine. It's nothing. We'll see you in a year. Okay. So I never found out if it was or, you know.
Wow.
But I'm sure something had to be there.
Cass, hearing you speak, Sandy, hearing you speak is inspiring. I think the audience can see that faith and perseverance aren't just your abstract ideas. I think that they're life-saving tools that you just reach back and grab onto to continue to rise. You, even when everything feels impossible, I can't imagine you're trying to heal from being sexually abused. You're trying to heal from that, and you're going through the process of healing from that.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden be hit with this diagnosis.
Yes.
And then now it's almost like a whole new battle you have to fight. And like you said, they were intertwined,
Yes.
where it was thing on top of thing on top of thing. Were in the process, like, were you angry at all? What were your feelings like?
Sure.
What were your emotions going through both of these things at the same time?
Every emotion possible. You go from anger to fear to questioning this, and it's a range of emotions on any given day. It's a roller coaster.
Yep.
Because you're like, of course, why me? Why now? Why this? Like, both sets of grandparents of mine have had cancer. They've all passed away from cancer on both sides. My maternal grandmother, my mom's mom, is the only one who had breast cancer, but she never went through chemo. My great grandmother went through chemo, and my dad's mom, and she couldn't finish it. It was too much for her.
Wow.
So for me, it was something that I had to do for them.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. To just fight for just not
Yeah.
yourself, but for those who came before you
Yes.
that weren't, that you had to fight for.
Yes.
What was your cancer treatment like?
When I went to the cancer treatment center 2 weeks after I was diagnosed, that was my first appointment. May 4th. I told you I know dates.
Wow, you sure do.
And May 4th is my great-grandmother's birthday, and I'm very close to her, was very close to her. She fought cancer twice. So that date was so significant. Her, my cousin, T, and my nephew birthday is May 4th. So I went in there, and my mind is like still trying to
Process.
and accept that this is me, the sick person.
Yeah.
I've never been sick. Like,
Right.
this is me. So it was a lot when I first went there, but they had a whole plan for me of 16 chemo. Well, first they said from the preliminary stage 3, it was technically stage 2B, triple negative breast cancer. My oncologist told me don't look up anything about triple negative breast cancer because it's on the internet. She's like, it's all, bad, basically. Like, wouldn't be good for me to look up to see all of the things. So I didn't.
I
did
can't
not.
believe you didn't.
I didn't
would have
do
been
it.
like, you tell me don't look. I
didn't do
know.
it because I did not want to read.
Wow.
I did not do it. But so anyway, stage 2B triple negative breast cancer. They also found a tumor under my right arm when they did a biopsy there. So they did all of the tests there again, and they asked me when did I want to start with the 16 rounds of chemo. They put 25 rounds of radiation and either a lumpectomy or a mastectomy. These are the things I would have to do. They also had gene testing, and I did that. I did the gene testing as well. But it was a lot. 16 chemos. I was like, okay, what does that look like? She told me by the second one I would lose all my hair. And that's what happened. I lost all the hair on my body. And I had a lot of hair. My hair was my thing. My hair was my thing. It was a part of who I was.
You're
So,
proud.
yeah, it was a lot. But I didn't think twice about it just because I knew this was what I needed to do to survive.
Yeah.
So it became this little. But it was very hard. The first 4 rounds were the one that they called the Red Devil for a reason. It's very hard. Very hard on the body and hard on the heart.
So Red Devil meaning they
That's
double
the
up.
nickname.
It's the nickname for the chemo treatment, the medicines that they put in you, because it's so powerful.
Yeah. And it turned my urine red for the first, couple of hours. Yeah, it was that powerful. Like, the nurse came in a total hazmat suit with gloves and a whole mask, all of that, to give me this medicine because they could not touch it. That's how powerful it was. Like, couldn't get it on their hands. I don't know what it would do to you. And I had to sit with that this is the same medicine that she can't even touch that's going inside my body.
Exactly. What is that doing to me if she can't even have a splash of it on her skin?
Right.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a lot to overcome. One of the things that helped me going through my chemo, though, were adult coloring books.
Oh.
Someone sent me that, and it really helped set my mind back to a like childlike time.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So it took me away from where I was presently. You know? Me and my husband would have coloring contests when we went every week and try to see who would be the best.
They had the little coloring table with the big coloring book, the big one. Marcy and I sat and colored and laughed.
Yes.
Because you know, even going through all of that, you can still find ways to find joy even in that hard process.
And you have to find it.
Yes.
When I got my port put in, the nurse, before, you know, I went under, she was telling me, she was like, you know, we've been talking and you really positive. She said, that's what you're going to need. She said, because mind over matter. Take that with you through this process.
Yes.
And those words carried me through.
Yes.
I'm saying from I did not end up getting 16 rounds. I did 13 rounds. I stopped early because of the neuropathy in my hands and my feet. But the chemo, the first chemo, the AC chemo, the Red Devil, that caused me to have a blood clot on my heart. So that also, when they told me that, you know, I was still smiling through it. I did not worry, but that it sat there on my heart for 7 months until I was done with 13 rounds of chemo, the double mastectomy, and 25 rounds of radiation.
How long ago was that? Where are you now in that journey?
I am 4 years, NED, no evidence of disease. Trying to get to the 5th year.
Yes.
So that's where I am on the journey. No more treatments. I just have the neuropathy in my hands and my feet, so that's the only medication that I'm on. Not on anything else, and I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
But I take a lot of vitamins and supplements every day.
So did you decide on whether you wanted the lumpectomy or the mastectomy?
Yes.
Or so what did you decide?
On a double mastectomy.
So you got the double mastectomy.
I did. My doctor probably wanted me to do the lumpectomy, but for my purposes and for my sanity, I felt like, no, just cut them both.
Did you?
I did. Just cut them both. Because I did not want to have to think about this side, that side. What if it comes back over here? Now, I did not want to have my mind racing with that. Because you never, ever, every pain you feel in your body, you think, is it back?
Yep.
Is it coming back? Like every pain. I have several friends that have gone through multiple times with cancer. Some are still here, some are not. You know, didn't make it. And so I'm very, very sensitive to that. So for my sanity, I said cut them both. And also, let me say, my genes, when they tested my genes, I tested positive for RAD51, and that gene includes BRCA and also ovarian cancer, which is sometimes hard to detect in women. You know, so I chose to also have that surgery as well, to cut that out, to remove them.
You like get rid of all of it. I don't want any chance.
Cancer risk reducing surgery.
Wow. If it's going to decrease my chances, I'll take it. How are you feeling today? Just emotionally, mentally, physically?
That's a loaded question. Let me say this too. Once I finished my treatments, I went back to therapy for my mind. Because cancer is traumatic. It's trauma.
Yes, it is.
So I sought therapy for myself. I go twice a month so that I can process. You know, help me with the thoughts, help me process, and find a base level to live with. Because I am a positive person generally. I love joy. I love to laugh. So today, I am feeling like I am I'm peaceful. I have peace. I have joy, but I fight for it, and I choose to do it. I choose joy.
It's a choice.
That's why I tell people every day, have a great day on purpose, because you have to be intentional. I am intentional with this life. I am intentionally saving myself this time.
Yes.
Before I was saving everybody else in my life, trying to help this person, help that person. Now I am doing what feels good for me.
Yeah. What advice would you give somebody going through cancer, going through the journey, just so they can have a peace of mind based on your experience and what you know now to be true about going through the cancer diagnosis?
I would say you have to cut out the noise first. Your circle and your village have to be intentional also.
Yes.
On keeping you protected.
Yes.
Whether you want to be bothered today or not, no one needs to second guess or question what you choose to do.
Yes.
Including yourself. If today you feel like I don't want to do nothing, I don't want to talk to nobody, I don't want to see nobody, do that for you. Choose that. And that's fine. Stand in whatever you feel like that you're doing to protect your well-being and your
Right.
mental, because it is a daily battle. But also get your rest. Try to drink a lot of water. Take in and seek and find out what the purpose is.
Right.
I think there's a purpose for everything.
Me too.
And for me, I think I was going too fast. I kept just always, like I said, I want to go back to law school.
Yeah.
I went and got my MBA in 2019 with 5 kids working full time. I got married in 2019. I came to this department with joint committee working with members of Congress in 2019. So I was doing a lot.
Yes.
I was doing a lot.
Was going
So
on.
that the cancer came in 2021, a year and a half after I was married. So for me, like my husband always tells me this. He does this for me. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
Because I stay like this.
Yes.
So he helps me to settle
Woosah.
down. Yeah. I would tell people, find your purpose within yourself. There's something that this is meant for you to do. God had been told me to write a book. And I kept saying, no. Like, I've done nothing special that no one else has done. What makes me special to write a book? Like, I kept putting it off. But when I went through chemo, I heard it.
Heard it
he
again,
showed
that
me.
voice.
Yes. Showed me.
Yes.
Kind of being inspiring and being on stage and telling my story and helping people and being motivational. And I was like, no, I'm behind the scenes. I'm the accountant. But I told God, in this season, whatever that you choose me to do, I'm doing it.
Yes.
So when you ask me, I'm like, yes.
Yes, I'm
every
doing
time.
it. Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
So yeah, I would just tell people to find out what it is for you.
Yes.
What was the purpose of you going through this? Seek it and find out.
Just
Search your
find
heart
out.
and find
Yes.
out.
Because it sounds like it's just a process. Although you've been cancer free for the last 4 years,
Yes.
it still sounds like it's just
It stays with you every day.
every day. It's an everyday process. You share so much about your life and about what you've gone through, but you mentioned the book. So
Yeah.
I want to now start talking about this amazing book.
Yes.
So you're now preparing to release your own memoir,
Yes.
Making Faith Moves, a memoir of survival, strength, and unshakable faith.
You got to say no matter what after making faith moves.
So Making Faith Move no matter what.
Yes.
And then the subtitle is a memoir of survival, strength, and unshakable faith.
Yes.
Awesome. So without giving too much away, can you tell our listeners what they can expect in the book and why this story is so important to you?
Okay. But before I do that, let me say, Tracy, when I began coming to you, you were the person that pulled it out of me and referred me to this company to help coach me to get to this part.
Yes.
I give a lot of credit to you because you really saw something in me and pulled it out of me and made me do it.
You know what that was? when I see people, when you walk in the door, I feel your spirit, that positive energy. And to me, when you exude that confidence and that kind of positive energy, to me, that's to be shared. You can't keep that to yourself because that, when I can feel that with just in your presence, that's so helpful to other people. Because if I felt it, other people can feel it, and it could help transform people from going through, traumas and negative things in their lives, and feel that energy That's so helpful to me. And that's
Wow.
how I knew, like, you gotta share this story. You have to share your experiences because
Yeah.
it's going to help other people.
Yeah. That's what you said.
And I still mean that.
Yeah.
And you did it.
I did. I saw it through, and it was rough to recount all of the stories that I've shared here.
Absolutely.
It was very rough to go back to those moments. I definitely had to do therapy and another form of therapy to get the stories out, like the sexual abuse. It took me, because every time I would speak about it, my body would physically shake.
Yes.
And so, tapping, a friend of mine, Sophia, is a therapist, and she taught me this tapping thing where you can tap and it calms you down, and it helped me get through it.
Why is it important to share this
Okay.
story? What can people expect when
Okay.
they read the book?
Okay. So it's important to share my story for a lot of reasons. My base reason was for my children. My legacy.
Yes.
I want them to know me not just for the sake of knowing me as their mother, but the why behind how I moved, how I raised them, why I do what I do, my career choices, everything. No secrets, just full me.
Swipe away the mom.
Yeah.
And look at me as the woman,
Yes.
the person behind everything.
And
all
behind
of the,
everything.
yes.
Yeah, and hopefully they can see themselves in it. Because I'm not this polished person all the way through. This came with a lot of work.
Yes.
I've lied, cheated, so I've done everything that you can think of
Yes.
that you would not want to do. But I still got back up.
Yes.
So I tell my children, it's okay to fall down.
Yes.
But you can't stay there.
Right.
So that's kind of the lesson that I want everyone to get from it.
Yes.
That everyone has a story. And beyond what your story is, you have a purpose
You do.
on this earth. And so I want people to know that even when you fall, even when life's gloomy and dark, you can get back up.
Yes.
Find your resources, find your reason, find yourself.
Yes.
I had to save little Cassandra in order for me to heal. I had to go back and rescue that girl that I left and said, kind of apologize for abandoning her.
Yes.
When I went through that and saying, I got you.
This
And-
is in the book.
Yeah.
Yes, and then there's another cliffhanger in the book. I don't want to give too much away, but I can't wait for the world to read
Me too.
this book. Your journey is proof that faith is a powerful force.
Yeah.
It's a superpower. I think
It is.
We hear faith, but for you live it
Yes.
every day. It moves mountains. It
Yeah.
has moved mountains
Faith
for you.
without works is dead.
Yes.
That's what I tell people.
Yes.
You cannot just have faith and believe. You have to do the work too.
Yes, that's that energy that I felt from you. Like
Yeah.
nothing is insurmountable for you.
Yeah.
When you have faith
Yeah.
and the courage that you have,
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can't do.
I believe that.
Yeah, there's nothing you can't do.
Yeah.
you can't
I
do.
believe that.
Your life is a masterclass in faith, resilience, and the power of reinvention. From raising twins while finishing college to these decades that you've served in the government,
Yes.
and surviving the trauma and your illness, you prove that with God,
Yes.
determination, and unwavering perseverance, anything is possible.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today
Thank you
to
for having
explore what it truly means to rise from life's deepest challenges with strength and unshakable faith. You are a living example of what it means to make faith move no matter what. Did you see what I did?
I
there?
did. I like it. You're good. You're good, Tracy.
So it's not just for you. Faith is not just a belief. It's motion. It's movement. Because
Yeah.
like you said, without works, it's dead.
Yeah.
It's showing up and continuing to be challenged and continuing to move forward when life gives you every reason to stop and give up. And you trust that God will meet you where your courage begins.
I do.
Your story teaches us a lot. To the listeners, you have to get the book. We're going to put out there the
Yes.
information on where to go to find the book.
Yes.
I'm sure it's going to be wherever you find your books on the bookshelf. It's
Yes.
going to be there. But thank you so much for joining me,
Thank you for having
Cassandra,
me.
on this stop in Sedona, Arizona.
Yes.
Against the breathtaking backdrop of Sedona's red rock. You have to go.
I do. I'm planning
you
a
have to
trip.
go.
I'm planning a trip.
In Sedona, it's where faith feels tangible and the air itself hums with healing energy. The deep red cliffs reflect both the pain and beauty of transformation. And again, a perfect backdrop for your story.
I love that.
In our next episode, we'll continue our tour and explore a theme that runs deep through my memoir, the power of rising higher than we've ever imagined. Because no matter where our stories began, we all share the same calling to rise. Remember, the journey to healing isn't a straight climb, but every step forward matters. So wherever you are in your journey, feel it, face it, and trust that something greater is always waiting on the other side. Thank you for giving yourself the gift of exploring what it really means to survive, to heal, and to rise. Let's take this journey, keep traveling, and rise together.
Altitude living, I'm touching the sky. Not my trauma, not my chains. Turn the struggle into gain.